Hey, what's up, you fish eat pies? I was just walking across the street when I came across this masterpiece. It looks pretty old and irrelevant, but I didn't care. Took a good look at it anyway, and lo and behold, it made me super triggered, and I decided that I had to make a video on it. Apparently, the shit stain was made by someone named whatever the fuck that means. He's a self-proclaimed medical professional, though he doesn't have any medical expertise. But he does excel in one area, saying the most retarded things ever known to man. Here's a prime example at the beginning of his video.
Nay, the privilege.
But that's not where the action ends. No siree, this man is spewing.
Fake news. It's fake. Phony. Fake.
Now that's not to say it's not a fun game. I was playing with some of my friends and I actually ended up having a great time.
Let's start by reviewing his experience in-game. As you can clearly see, this man is high as fuck and cannot aim for shit.
Well, I would have had more of a great time if my game didn't look like shit! Seriously, this is the same computer that can run Minesweeper at max graphical quality. Meanwhile, a game like Overwatch is suddenly too much. May I remind you all that this is indeed epic settings. Everyone else's game looks like the Pillsbury Doughboy at a Thai massage parlor, and you're telling me I'm getting this prickly line shit? It's like they got hit by a car. I've seen burn victims with better fidelity. What the f?
So for those of you who have the brain size of a peanut, I made a clever tutorial that's more your speed, so you can understand how to change your fucking graphics settings.
As you can imagine, Mercy was my first choice, and quite frankly, I was very impressed with the medic class. You can zoom to your teammates, heal/damage buff people, and if you're in the mood to deal some punishment, never fear, for you're equipped with the most pathetic excuse for a weapon I have ever seen a medic have. Some medics have shotguns, some syringe guns, Mercy has a fucking Nerf gun, and at least the medic has the crossbow, something that can do a significant amount of damage if aimed right. Hell, the syringe guns can hold their own. Not Mercy, hell no. That pathetic little pistol has the stopping power of saran wrap and is just as effective at keeping your leftovers fresh.
So for any novice player who can aim, a basic task in all FPS games, utilizing Mercy's pistol is actually quite effective in the right hands. But as we all saw earlier, a Ray 7 can't aim to save his life. However, Mercy is not a player that is meant to be in the front lines, rather a support, hence the class name, Support. She's meant to help her team rather than steal all the kills, something a Ray 7 is used to playing a free-to-play game all his life.
And technically, they have a melee attack in the game, but remember how in TF2 the melee damage does a whopping 65 points of damage, taking out close to half of most classes' health? Well, hold on your craft hats, because melee in this game does the same amount of damage as a fucking circus balloon sword. I remember Scottjaw telling me they nerfed it from something like 50, but they couldn't have given the medic a knife on the end of that Metagun ripoff, or maybe at least some rusty nails, or hell, I'd be okay with a sharp rock, just anything, really.
Due to the clear lack of gameplay experience, we can clearly see his downfall here. There are classes that are dedicated to melee attacks, and in such case, they are much more powerful. Melees for other classes aren't as strong because, you guessed it, it's not their form of attack. Rather, it's meant as more of a last resort. Of course, a Ray 7 wouldn't know that because he has the brain size of a peanut.
So Mercy also has the equivalent of Uber Charge that revives fallen teammates, which quite honestly feels a little underwhelming. Unless you're reviving 3 teammates at once, it's actually kind of weak. Of course, I find it slightly poetic that the first skin I get happens to be for Mercy. Overall though, the medic class in Overwatch has the potential to be pretty strong considering the advantages it has, though it kinda lacks the sheer game-changing power that our true favorite German gave us.
In fact, Mercy's ult was actually changed because it was too overpowered.
With all the classes, it's a chaotic nightmare. Everyone's off doing their own thing with so many people and playstyles, it's a clash of gameplay the likes of which you have never seen. And when I say clash of gameplay, I mean it. It's a blend of Call of Battle Honor, Tower Defense, Surgeon Simulator, Mirror's Edge, Assassin's Creed Armored Core, and a ridiculous amount of different games.
How dare the game have diversity? I can't wrap my little head around how many classes there are. This is exactly the same case in TF2. A large diversity of heroes is equivalent to the large, actually excessive amount of weapons in Team Fortress 2. The very thing he complains about is what he experiences daily playing Team Fortress 2. This argument is fucking retarded.
Now, there's 3 things Overwatch loves: projectiles, choke points, and spam. I don't know what they have against hitscan, but to me there seems to be only a handful of weapons that are just plain bullets, which unfortunately does not bode well for your average high latency player, and even so, there's no alternative you can use like a shotgun or pistol or something. If you can't hit with projectiles, you might as well just hang your hat up right now. Game over, no refunds. And it's not being able to hit projectiles that leads to the worst sin of them all, spam. When people can't aim with their weapons, you know what they do? I'll give you a hint. Look, I'll give you a hint. Check this out. I'll give you a hint. Yeah, exactly that. My biggest issue with Overwatch is how limiting it feels to me. Maybe it's just the classes, maybe it's the engine Blizzard built, or maybe I've just been brainwashed by Valve, but the game feels like it's constantly fighting itself. Like it only allows the player to do exactly what the developers wanted you to do.
That's kind of the point of having different heroes. Dumbass.
In other words, I doubt that something like trimping or sentry jumping would ever be a thing in Overwatch, just for this exact reason. I feel like the game is more focused on how fast I can push buttons rather than how well I can use the game to my advantage, and frankly that does not appeal much to me.
In this very video, he literally uses the game to his advantage. He proved himself wrong, and there's nothing else to say. And that Farah used the game to her advantage. Okay guys, I'm going to have to end it here. This guy's fucking retarded. Hope y'all like this video. Make sure to smash that like button, penetrate that subscribe button, and fucking molest that notification button, okay baby?
Because at the end of the day, TF2 is the game everyone comes back to.